guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is actually kind of weird for me because I haven't been on a camera in a little while now. Kind of just getting back into the start of things. So it's been a little while since I've come on camera for you guys, and since then I cut my bangs myself because, you know, I didn't have too much to do in the house. I felt really tired and all that, so I was like so bored and didn't know what to do with myself. I cut my bangs naturally. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming to watch. Today I'm just gonna do my makeup while I talk about something that happened to me. I don't know, I never thought of saying this to you guys or like bring this up to you guys on here because, you know, a lot of my channel is about stories or encounters or, you know, myths about scary things. This is something that happened to me that I never told really anybody until the other day, and that's why I thought of it. I was like, I should tell this to my YouTube channel because that's what I do. So that's what I'm here to do today, is to talk to you guys about something that happened to me while also do my makeup for you. Now, what I'm going to talk about is like something a lot of people might not believe in. I believe in like ghosts and all that kind of stuff, although I had never really seen one myself. I still believe they exist. I'm like one of those people. Funny, you can see my dogs in the back. They're like, hello. Okay, so let's jump into this. I don't know what you guys believe as far as in ghosts and things like that, but I am here to talk to you guys today about basically like a ghost encounter that I had. I didn't actually see the ghost, someone else did, and it was just like a really scary situation that I had been in. A lot of times I don't know, I'm like, I believe in that kind of stuff, but at the same time it's like, it's something hard to believe in if you've never seen something. But definitely at night, last night, I was getting so creeped out thinking about telling you guys this story. I'm like, hey, you know what? This happened to me, and I never even like told you guys about it, which is weird because that's what I do. I like tell scary stuff and talk about myths and things like that. So I'm like, how come I never thought to tell them about what happened to me? Many of you guys that follow me know that I work in a hospital. Well, I used to work full-time in a hospital, and now I don't as much anymore, but that was basically my occupation. So a lot of things that happen in the hospital are like creepy when it comes to like death and stuff like that, and I haven't experienced that a lot because I worked night shift on a surgery floor, not on like hospice or anything like that, so I didn't get a lot of death on my floor. But when we had COVID happen and all that, there was a lot more deaths in the hospital, and we didn't do surgery as much. It was kind of like canceled, so I experienced it a little bit more. That's not really what the creepy part is. One day I was working in the hospital on the night shift because I used to be full-time night shift, which was a really hard thing to do just because the schedule was like, it was just really hard to be a human being. So I was working the night shift, and at a certain point at night, we have to go around and, you know, take everybody's vitals. We actually had to do it like every 4 hours, which is kind of a lot, but you know, when you work in hospital, it's important to check on people, especially when you're on like a cardiac floor or something like that. So this particular night I was working on a cardiac floor, and we had to check their vitals every 4 hours. So usually about 2 a.m. is like a time when you check everyone's vitals. So it kind of was like really time consuming because you have to go to every single person individually and get their vitals, and there's a lot of people on your floor. So anyway, it's the middle of the night, it's probably like 2 a.m. and I walk into one of our patients' rooms. Now, I don't know if you guys know how a hospital works, how like their beds are set up. There's usually one by like a window and then another bed in the right by the door of the room. I walk into the room to get vitals, and I get the person in the closest to the door just because they're closer to the door, like why would I not? And then I go over to the window side to get this other person's vitals, and they were awake. So like it's 2 a.m. I walk in. It's usually funny for me to do that because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I don't want to bother you, but like I kind of have to do this. So I go in and I explain to them like, okay, I have to take your vitals, I'm sorry to wake you up or bother you. And they're like, no, it's okay. And they're laying there and they're staring out the window, and I'm like, okay, this is like weird. Like, first of all, it's dark in the room. I'm scared of the dark. I'm sorry, I'm a huge baby. So it's dark in the room. I'm already creeped out because it's 2 a.m. and I'm in this person's room and they're sitting in bed like laying awake in the dark, like, and it's an older person. So I don't know if something like that would freak you guys out, but like that kind of creeps me out. I'm like, okay, I'm getting their vitals, blah blah blah, and they're just staring out the window, just staring, and I'm like, this is kind of weird, but okay. So I'm getting their vitals and I'm like, there's like tension because I'm like creeped out and they're still just staring out the window. This is really creepy now. Okay, hurry up machine, like do your job, let's go. You know, it's taken a little while for the machine to work and everything, and they ask me, they're like, do you see him? Do you see him? And they're like pointing out the window and I'm like, what? Like, there's no one there. And so like now I'm like sitting there and I'm starting to get all creeped out and shaking. They're like, no, there's a person right there on the edge right there. And they're pointing at the buildings, like you could see another side of windows and hospital beds and stuff like that. And like I'm looking out the window and there's nothing there. Sitting there all creeped out. I'm like, no, there's nothing there. I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of times people say that older people, when they're about to pass or something like that, they see things, like people, a lot of times people say they see their family for the last time or someone they know that had passed away. Sitting there in the room waiting, just waiting for this machine to count down in the dark with this creepy person, old person staring out the window, and I'm like, oh my god, is there a ghost right in the, like, I don't know what he's pointing at, the window, if there's a ghost in the room, and he's just asking if I see this, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm standing there and I'm all freaking creeped out. The machine stopped and I'm like, okay, thanks, and I'm like unwrapping the stuff on the cuff on their arm, and like I ran out of the room and I was like, oh my god, I'm never going back in there again. I was so creeped out, I didn't know what to do. So basically, after working the night shift for so long, I stopped just because like I wanted to be a normal human being again and I was so over it. But there was things like that just like creep me out. Like I would walk into rooms and there would be people that have like dementia or something like that, and they would talk about things and I would just be scared because I watched a lot of scary movies as a younger person, and like my whole family loved them. I still like them now, but like you can ask Jake, I am the biggest baby when it comes to scary movies. Like I'll sit there and watch it and then like I'll cover my eyes on scary parts, but like I enjoy it. And then when I go to bed, I'm scared. Last night, just thinking about telling you guys this story, my feet were out of the blanket because my feet like suffocate. And I had to put them back in because I was scared like a ghost or something was gonna touch my toes. I'm not kidding. When it comes to this stuff, I'm like the biggest baby you will ever meet. So I threw my eyebrows on and some lipstick. So anyway, like I said, I'm just like the biggest baby when it comes to scary stuff like that. I still enjoy it though. I love it. I love scary stuff even though I'm like the biggest baby in the world. But anyway, I just wanted to share this story with you because I thought it was funny how corny I am and how much of a baby I am. There was probably nothing happening in that room, but you never know. Like I said, a lot of times before people pass or like when they're sick or something, especially older people, they see someone or something before they pass. That's an actual fact. That's what I heard going into the hospital work that I do. When I was on orientation, they actually tell you that like sometimes people will see things, they'll hallucinate. Who knows if that's what's really happening or like they're saying it's just something they see. So I don't know, I was really creeped out and I was just scared because I'm just such a baby that's how I react to things. I also wanted to tell you guys coming on here, because I haven't been on in a while, that I am starting a Twitch stream. My commitment right now is 5 days a week for like 2 hours a day, so that is the least I will be doing. I could be on there more. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you guys can follow it if you want to go check that out. You can add me as a friend and see me stream on Twitch. And if you haven't already, me and Jake have a family channel that you can also check out. We are going to be putting a new video on there to update you guys, and we're also gonna still be posting on it. So if you'd like to go check that out, you can. Just gonna throw some mascara on. I wanted to do something really light today, you know, just throw a little something on my face so I didn't look so bad. But I'm actually curious if you guys believe in ghosts and like things like this happening. I don't know if it was like a ghostly encounter or like just a hallucination or something that happened, but this is one of the only true, I feel like, experiences I've had with paranormal or supernatural things. There's been a few others, but it wasn't from my experience that I saw something, it was from someone else, and I never had an experience like that happen. Like maybe I was in a situation where Jake was like, oh my god, did you hear that, or did you see that? But this felt like a lot more real than anything I had encountered before, because this person actually was seeing something, whether it was there or not, and that really creeps me out. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share it with your friends. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Love you.